Hey guys, I'd like to talk about the importance of philosophy. Now, philosophy I think is something that today in our society are lacking and nobody's really paying attention to. Like, yes, I agree that philosophy isn't going to get you like a really good job in these types of things. I completely agree with that. But I still think that there is a lot of benefit for it because currently today, a lot of people, like I'm not religious, but there is some things within religions that are good and that people should that are kind of life lessons that people have learned throughout thousands of years, and that's the same with philosophy. Now, philosophy isn't necessarily predicated upon religion or there being necessarily an afterlife or anything like that. It's mostly about how to live your life now and how to get the most out of your life and how to live the best. So, currently, I think that's one of the big problems in today's society. We're on the go, go, go. We don't just kind of sit back, think about why we do the things we do and what benefit are we really getting from it. And why do we worry about the things we do? Should we be worrying about the things we do? I think we could remove a lot of the stress within our lives if we were to ask ourselves a lot of these basic questions that philosophy does get us to ask. And in our modern society, yeah, we don't ask ourselves these questions. And people are lacking a lot in philosophy. And like I was saying, like it's something very important. Like I lost my brother a couple years ago to a disease, and I'm not religious. I didn't turn to God. I can't do that. I can't do these things because just if you just don't believe it, you don't believe it. You can't really help you know what you believe sometimes. But I found stuff like Stoicism, right? And this really helped me because without it, I'd be more wallowing within my own pity and sorrow, and there'd be very little progression in my life, and I would be worrying about things I can't really control. And that's what Stoicism, one of the things I really liked about it is it kind of just got you to understand that life is not fair, and that's just the way it is, and you should just focus on the things that you can control, because I see people all the time worrying and getting angry about things they have literally no control over, like zero, like the weather and all these different things. And if people were to just relinquish a lot of the things that they worry about, we would be so much better off, because they don't need to worry about these things a lot of the times. There's no reason to. And that's what I learned, with Stoicism and these types of things, and losing family members or loved ones, that, hey, like, it's not the end of the world. We all go through these things. And, complaining about it, worrying about it, is not going to do anything for you. That's kind of harsh to say in some ways, but, wallowing in your own pity is not helping anybody, especially yourself. You got to pick yourself up and dust yourself off. But it's totally okay to feel sad and worried and like miss the people that you've lost. But understand that you contemplating about it will never change anything. No matter how hard you think about things. So philosophy in that sense helps you understand these things better than I think religion can, and because it tries to give you an explanation, a more logical explanation without the supernatural aspect to it a lot of the times. And why the lack of philosophy that's going on in our education systems, I think, is having a huge impact on the way our society is going and what people deem valuable. And just nobody can really agree on truth anymore. What's true, what's false. We got to reuse like the Socratic method, these types of things that we can, if we can agree on what true is, then we can actually make progress. But what's going on right now is that there's one side that believes that they're true, what they believe is true, and the other side believes that what they believe is true, and there's no middle ground. And when that happens, that's not good, because then violence eventually erupts from that. So we need to be able to talk. We need to be able to have discussions about important issues, so then it doesn't devolve to violence, because is what is going to happen. History does repeat itself. Not exactly, but it does have recurring events, and if we think that we're different from people 500 years ago, 1,000, that's foolish, because our brains have not evolved very much since then. If anything, we might have devolved slightly. So, you know, this is when we need these old kind of ideas that have been around for thousands of years. We need to reincorporate them in our society, or re-examine them and take from what we can, and maybe make it more of an emphasis in elementary school to teach these things, because this is what is lacking in our society, I believe. And once people have more philosophical mindset, I think they'll make much better decisions, and they won't be governed by their emotions as much, and more through logic and reason. Because currently, if you look at politics and why people vote socialism, these types of things that are known not to work, it's usually because of emotion, and they're not using their rational minds. They're thinking with their emotions. And that's how we get played with. We get played on all the time with our emotions. Like the media, the TV, they'll show us pictures of dead kids, this and that, to try to pull at our heartstrings, because they know most people are good. Most humans are good. That's why they do these things, because they know it works. But we need to kind of separate ourselves from our emotions occasionally. But emotions are still good. We need them. We need them both. But we need to be able to separate ourselves from it. And philosophy will help with us. Will help to do that. So, instead of disparaging these types of practices, like saying, oh, what are you going to do with this education, this and that, like, yeah, we don't have to go on a whole 4-year thing in university learning purely psychology or philosophy, but I think it needs to be an aspect in most people's lives. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but if you like my content, subscribe, and you guys have a great day.